You might have seen the latest offerings from GoPro. The Stabilisation on the Max and the Hero 8 looks too good to be true. But we wanted to know, is it good enough for a small creator, a novice YouTuber, or a small business so that they no longer have to look lustfully at the Ronin S, or has the tech caught up to the point DJI should be worried? As a bastion for the little guys, we're not going to test it in the ways you'll almost never use them. Sure, skateboarding around LA looks cool, but there are a ton of more regular and real uses, so join us as we battle these two pieces of tech to see who kills who. But before we start, let's show you how we're gonna do this. The GoPro Max will be on a poll. I'll pop a link to the one we use in the description. Oh, and yes, we're using the Max. I bought this with my own money and can't afford the 8 and the Max, unless you fancy sending us a load of free stuff, GoPro. That's how this review will stay. The camera on the Ronin is the Sony a6500, a fantastic little camera. Because the camera quality is very different to the GoPro, you need to try and not judge the stabilisation on that. We'll discuss this further down the review though, but try to remain unbiased. Please join in and put your thoughts in the comments and yeah, let's go. Test 1, replacing your tripod. Nobody wants to use their muscles and carry extra stuff, so the first test will establish if you can forget your tripod for still and steady shots. Let's check out the footage. Okay, so this is now testing different cameras. So we've got the Sony on the Ronin and there's no tripod, just to see how it copes when you're standing still. We've then got the Canon, which has got no tripod, the Canon Z100, which you can already see is wobbling and be struggling. It's got no image stabilization built in. And then we've got the GoPro just on its regular little tripod to see how well it fares standing still. As you will have noticed, we threw in a video camera that's handheld with no stabilisation to the mix. It sucked and means, of course, you still need a tripod for that. The Ronin and the Max, though, don't replace a tripod, but they make you feel less sick when you're watching them. I think the movement is slight enough so that for a vlogging style, it works though. I had the Ronin in selfie mode. Now, I think if someone else had held it with two hands and filmed me, it would have probably done a better job. So, do they replace the need to carry a tripod? Well no, you probably still need one for filming yourself further away than an arm's width. But if you just want that selfie look, they work well. Both the Ronin and the pole used on the GoPro have a tripod base, but it's not ideal for getting to eye level, so it's not going to replace your tripod either. Winner? Draw. And so no winner. Test 2, selfie mode, walking and talking. Alright, framing. To start off with, it's obviously very easy to frame on the GoPro. You just stick your arm out, and as long as you've got your hand below the camera, that's it. The Ronin S, quite heavy. It's got a small Sony a6500 on it with a little mic on top. Hopefully the framing's alright, I don't know because I don't have a screen, but let's just see what happens now as I take a slow walk through the park. So I'm kind of expecting the GoPro to stay very smooth. It does look very smooth with everything else I've seen online. The problem with the Ronin is, of course, its weight. So if you're shooting yourself, you kind of got to have strong arms. Also, you need to watch out for trees. So we're walking up a bit of a slope now. Not very sorry. It looks like in the monitor, the GoPro is doing very well. My arm is knackered here. Now I'd probably be using two hands usually with the Ronin. So let's just pick up the pace a little bit and see how it goes. So this is what I would call a brisk walk. My arm is killing me now. My GoPro arm's absolutely fine. It's loving life, I could do this all day. And now I'm gonna run because I'm about to run out of steam in my arm just to see how they both do. So, which one's working best for selfie mode? And yeah, I'm losing control on here. Oh. The Ronin seems heavy compared to the GoPro. Sure, I might have used one hand to hold it, but even with two hands, it's still awkward. You need a really wide lens to get the same kind of shots that you can get on the GoPro too. If we look at how steady it is, I'd say the GoPro does better. It's probably fair to say that this is down to it being easier to use with one arm. I think for selfies, we're going to have to give it to the GoPro. Sure, I was walking up a hill in a woods, so it's tough, but that's life. I think I could have got a steadier shot on the Ronin, but because I was dodging trees and walking through them, I had a lot to think about while I was talking to the camera. So if someone else was filming me, it might have been fine. But for selfie people, that's not gonna work. So the winner is the GoPro. Test 3, skipping mode. Because we only really want to test real world uses, not skateboards and BMXs, I thought the next test would be the skipping test, everyone's favourite test. So if you want to try this one yourself at home, try and skip without smiling. Let's go. Okay, here we go. Skipping test. Instantly the smile kicked in. There's a bit of wind as well, so it'll be a good test for the mic. It's definitely wobbling a lot more. Might be a bit of a two-hand job. Yeah, that stabilised it a lot. The GoPro in selfie mode wins again, and when we compared it to the Ronin that was being operated by someone else, and the GoPro in selfie, it still seems like it's on par. Do you agree? Or is the tequila I've been drinking every time that we've cut some B-roll kicked in? You might not ever skip, but it shows you the smoothness as a test, just as much as the extreme sports you almost definitely won't do. Winner? GoPro. Test 4, close to the floor shots. A bit quirky, this one. Looks like the Ronin wins on that. It's not that hard to run alongside with, upside down either, and doesn't get heavy like it does in selfie mode. The weight actually keeps it steady here too. The GoPro footage still does well though, and the fact that you can spin it around after in the edit means you can open up a whole heap of crazy ideas. But focus Ed, this isn't about the 360 camera. Winner, Ronin. Test 5, ease of use. Right, so Greg, which one was easiest to use?
The GoPro is easier to use, but I'm not sure about what the results are going to be because it's lighter, so it's harder to keep it stabilised.
Do you believe that the software is going to stabilise it enough?
I don't know, I'm interested to find out.
Ease of use and setup. Just talk me through how long it takes to set up the Ronin each time.
About 5 minutes to set the Ronin up.
What about the first time you used it?
About 20 minutes.
What really did it take you the first time you did it?
About 40 minutes.
Yeah, so setting up the Ronin is a real pain in the bum. Setting up this?
About 2 seconds.
It's just always set up, ready to go. So you don't need a degree in Ronins.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got it the wrong way around. Always got it the wrong way around. I've still got it the wrong way around. Where's the trigger? Oh, there it is. I had it the right way around. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Maybe do 2.
1, 2.
No, don't do 3.
1, 2, 3. Alright, let's try skipping. Okay, I might not be the smartest dude, but I'm sure the Ronin will fog up a few brains. When it comes to using it, there's no competition between the two. The Ronin is smart with how you use the app to set it up and calibrate it, but it does take a while the first time though. And then after that it is, well, a bit faster. Using it yourself is especially tricky if you have an A6500 because of the stupid design with the buttons at the back. It's annoying. Also, without a monitor, it's hard to frame and you need a really wide lens for selfies. I think it's fair to say Ronins are probably not designed to shoot yourself. They're more for B-roll or filming someone else, but I think many vloggers will want to try that method, which is why we had to include it. The GoPro is instant, and we love instant. It just works straight out of the box. It doesn't hurt your arm or make you get sweaty or fog your brain, and because you shoot in 360, you can set the framing in the edit. So it doesn't really matter if you're a little off center. In fact, you don't have to frame at all, you just hold it up. The Ronin requires practice too. You need to get used to how to keep it smooth, and as a result, you can't really do a normal walk with it. Those who use one on a regular basis can, but as a newbie, you'll develop gimbal legs, which are basically legs made out of cheese strings. For shooting more cinematic shots, it's a lot easier on the Ronin, but it's just not as simple as the GoPro. Winner? GoPro, again. Test 6, portability. Compared to the full body suits of yesteryear, the Ronin S is portable, but you've got to unpack it and pack it, and then it won't fit in your pocket. Oh, that was a little poem. The GoPro will fit anywhere. It won't mean checking in an extra bag at an airport. You can keep it in your jacket so you can sneak it in anywhere that it's not supposed to be. So the winner is the GoPro. Test 7, likelihood of breaking. If you're like me, you love breaking stuff. Well, you don't, but it just happens all the time. Mainly because you need to rush to get a shot and whoops, smashed it. But not in a positive way, like literally dropped it and smashed it. The GoPro is a GoPro. I once attached one of the older models to a car and accidentally ran it over at 60 miles an hour, and it still worked afterwards. The Ronin, while all those moving parts and gears, it won't take too much effort to destroy it, especially if you're like me. I do think that the build quality on the Ronin is excellent, but the GoPro is designed to be extreme. As this video is based on a review in the eyes of a small creator, there is one winner here, especially if you're a one-person production machine. The quality of the stabilisation really isn't that far off the Ronin. Anyone can use it and keep it steady straight away, and you won't need to hit the gym to shoot yourself in selfie mode. Really though, this was never a fair test. They're two totally different beasts, and you use them in different ways. What we wanted to show you was the advancements in stabilisation, because if GoPro is doing this now, it won't be long before the DSLRs are doing it next, which must be a really scary thought for the guys at Ronin and Zoom. I mean, could we be looking back in 2 years' time thinking about how crazy it was that we used to carry gimbals about us all? I think we probably will be. For now, the Ronin's trump card is that high quality cameras need a gimbal. And even small DSLRs like A6500 that we used can be incredibly cinematic, and that creates a pro look, something creators lust after, so it still has a place. The GoPro Max's stabilisation is just so convenient. The fact that you've got an amazing gimbal with a built-in camera, or a camera with a built-in gimbal, however you want to look at it, means super smooth shots no matter what you're doing. On top of showing off the future of stabilisation, we wanted to make this video because gimbals are on so many people's must-have kit list before they ever really think about how to use them and why they might actually need them. We see them lying around businesses covered in dust all of the time, and even as a production company, we tend to find ourselves thinking, how can we use this rather than we couldn't live without this? The truth is, the average creator doesn't need one. They're flipping cool, but unless they somehow step it up a notch and enter the next mind-blowing level of stabilisation that's compact, lightweight, and usable straight out of the box, they're dead. Sorry. And of course there's the price. In the UK they're £475 for the GoPro and £450 for the Ronin. Add the camera and the gym membership and it's a lot more expensive. So small creators, unless you really want that cinematic look, go and get a GoPro Max for stabilisation. There are of course downsides to using GoPro to film. This was just about the stabilisation. If you want to learn more about filming with the GoPro Max as a vlogging camera, then check out this video here and the playlist with more GoPro Max videos inside. And of course, subscribe, because it wouldn't be a YouTube video if someone didn't ask you to subscribe.